Depending on the state you're flipping houses in, you will be faced with a situation where you will not be able to sell the property you just rehabbed or renovated. You will in fact have to wait a certain amount of days before you can sell to a specific type of buyer. That's right, you heard it correctly. You will have to wait for a certain period of time before you are able to sell that new house flipping project. When you think about it, it almost kind of defeats the purpose of flipping houses. The idea of flipping a house is to do it as quickly as possible because the longer it takes you to flip a house, the more money it'll cost you, and as a result, the more money you lose. Especially if you're using hard money and have interest-only payments that are due every month. This stipulation is known as the 90-day FHA house flipping rule. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about this rule and some of the details and factors to look out for that will make you more prepared as a house flipper. But before we begin, please click the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Right now, I'm in the middle of selling a property that thankfully I have under contract and pending for closing. But unfortunately, had to wait 3 months to sell it. The reason I had to wait 3 months is because the majority of buyers in the neighborhood I'm selling the property in are FHA buyers. The reason for this is because FHA has rules set in place that does not allow investors who flip houses to sell their newly renovated project to an FHA buyer for 90 days. Can you believe that? I seriously had to wait 90 days to go under contract with an FHA buyer. Why do they have this rule? I don't know, but it's a great question and one I honestly don't know the answer to. If you know the answer, please let me know in the comments because I'm seriously eager to know why they have this ridiculous rule in place. Unfortunately though, FHA has a lot of guidelines and limitations when it comes to its borrowers. For example, FHA lenders are known to have strict appraisal stipulations mainly to protect their borrowers. So I'm really not that surprised that they have this rule. For those of you who don't know, FHA is a type of lending that home buyers go through to be able to get financing on primary residences. They offer a lot of incentives for people who are first-time home buyers, like low down payment percentages. They will go as low as 3.5% down. They also work with individuals that have higher than normal debt-to-income ratios or average to below average credit scores. They are honestly great for first-time home buyers and gives the average person an opportunity for home ownership. However, it comes with a lot of rules and regulations during the buying process, and the 90-day FHA rule is one of them. That being said, it's important to know what type of buyer your market provides before you start flipping houses. It's honestly bittersweet because FHA buyers can be a curse and a blessing. And it's extremely important to know if your state or county implements the FHA 90-day flipping rule, because this rule can definitely hold you back as an investor. It's important to know about this rule because then you are able to underwrite your deals knowing that you potentially have to wait 3 months before you can go under contract with the buyer. And notice I said under contract. You cannot go under contract until 90 days from your settlement date. So you are not able to initiate a transaction or open escrow with an FHA buyer until the 90th day of ownership. So don't try to open escrow just because you got a full price offer, because you honestly will be wasting your time and potential for conventional, VA, or cash buyers. The lender will see the date on the contract and then cancel the transaction because you broke a FHA guideline. Also, some states may require that you wait from the time the deed is recorded. So it's best to check with your local FHA lenders to know what your state or county requires. Another very important guideline to know about the 90-day FHA rule is that if you are selling the property for 100% more than what you bought the property for, then you will have to get 2 appraisals for the property, which is crazy because that almost always will be the case. And of course, the lowest appraisal is the appraisal that will be used for the transaction. Again, if you know why FHA has these rules, please let me know in the comments. So for example, if you bought the property for $200,000 and you decide to sell it for $350,000, you will need to get 2 appraisals. So I advise you make sure your potential buyer has a really high chance of getting approved and your property is priced right, or you will waste a lot of time. So you might ask, should you still get the property rehabbed as quickly as possible and list it if you get it rehabbed before the 90 days? The answer is yes, you most certainly should, because you can most definitely get a conventional VA or cash buyer that wants to buy your newly renovated property. Keep in mind that not every buyer is an FHA buyer, but be aware that certain markets and neighborhoods have more FHA buyers than conventional VA or cash buyers. If you got value out of this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.